Hey everybody, Logan here. Yeah, so I got something I never thought I would. There's a little story behind this, but first let me show you. It's the Analogue Pocket. Now, I'm going to say it was originally, I'm going to do the box opening, but it was originally wrapped in plastic. I just took the plastic off because the lights were reflecting. You couldn't see a thing. You couldn't even see that it had the Analogue Pocket logo on it. But as you can see, it's the Analogue Pocket Limited Edition. This is the colors one. This is silver. I bet you're saying, hey, why didn't you get red? Well, before we get into the unboxing of this, let me give you a little story. So a buddy of mine from church, his name is Rob. We had a conversation about handhelds and gaming for a little bit. Then he told me he had a number of these. He was able to get them, and he's just like in the loop. I don't know how he does it, but he messaged me the other morning as I'm getting ready to leave. I was going out of town, head to Miami. And he's like, hey, I was able to get a silver Analogue Pocket. Did you want it? I was like, what? Yes. And then he sends me a thing. He's like, yeah, the website still had some as I was looking, but he's like, oh, here's a link. Da, da, da. As soon as I checked the link, all sold out. So I was like, hey. So I thanked him profusely. And then last Sunday at church, he said, oh, let me go get it. He gave it to me. And then I'm just going to reimburse him for this. But thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. Great guy. So with that being said, I now have an Analogue Pocket. He apparently has gone through a number of them. His first one was that glow-in-the-dark one. He said he had an issue with it, but ended up selling it for twice the price. Go figure. So I'm just happy to get one of these. As you guys know, I'm a huge handheld gamer. I love my Switch, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and Game Gear, of course. And then I do have the Evercade and a number of others. I do love my handheld gaming. So with that being said, I had to get this. Once he offered it, I was like, yes, I gotta get this. So we're gonna open it up now. I have not opened it. Like I said, I just took the plastic off, but we're gonna open it up. We're gonna test it out. Can't wait. So here we go. Here is the Analogue Pocket Limited Edition Console Silver. There we go. Oh, wow. So there's not much to the box here. That is amazing. Look at the size of that screen in general. That's got some weight to it. Whew. Okay, so you got face buttons are nice. FPGA hardware. Okay, so, okay, it's got a piece of plastic on it protecting it. Same thing up here. Okay. What else do we have in here? Not sure what this is. What is this? What is this? Sticker and the quick start. Now you've got the cable, which is, don't eat these. Type-C to Type-C. Because on the bottom here, okay, we have headphone jack, Type-C charger, and then the Game Boy link cable. That is a nice, and yep, does have the slot for a memory card. So what would be the power button? Is this the power button? Yep, power right there. Let's take this off. Now I'll take that off later. Follow the tutorial for an introduction to Analogue Pocket. I did. Okay, display modes. That's a very nice screen. Oh, so you gotta scroll down. Whee! Yes. Okay, so it actually has a 75% battery, and it does have an OS. Now, what I'm going to do here, I have a couple of games. I have OG Double Dragon for original Game Boy, X-Men Mutant Academy for Game Boy Color, Paperboy and Rampage for Game Boy Advance, and we're also going to check out, this is a repro cart. So it's not Pokemon Green because we didn't get this. So it's the Japanese version translated into English, put on a cart. So we're going to see if it plays that as well. So let's start with OG. Now these aren't original cases, so they can be a pain in the butt to open, but we're talking 30 plus years down the road. They're hard to find original cases that actually... Oh wow, okay, so it just clips in right there. So let's do a play cartridge. Error. Not a good way to start. Sleep. I know this cart works because I've recently played it. Well, depends on what you mean by recent. There we go. So, and it said, do this. Wow, original Game Boy Pocket, original Game Boy Pocket, Pinball Neon Matrix. So basically that is Virtual Boy. Okay, I'm going to go with that. Okay, so that, there we go. So this looks great. That looks fantastic. Like, wow. And one thing is, I noticed, I was wondering about the shoulder buttons for the Game Boy Advance. They're right there. All right, so let's put this back into sleep. We'll take this out. Let's pop in X-Men Mutant Academy for Game Boy Color. As you guys, well, most of you guys probably don't know, but I have an old video on the channel where I played this, and that was a funny experience. Wake. Wow, look at those colors. So, wow, with the scan lines. So this only gives you two, with or without. This looks fantastic. Skip it. What in the world did I just do there? But that looks really good. So, okay, we've got Game Boy Color. Now let's try Game Boy Advance, and then we'll go with the repro cart. I have a number of repro carts because I do like the game mods. I have Pokemon repro. I've got like Pokemon Christmas, Pokemon Ash Gray. I've got Pokemon Team Rocket. I've got a lot of the Pokemon mods on cart, so that is a big thing for me. But Game Boy Advance, one of my favorite systems, some of my favorite games, like Golden Sun specifically. I love Golden Sun. Ah, that looks really good. DSi Games, remember them, anybody? So it does have the wider resolution. Of course, we're going to try out Rampage. So hold this. Original GBA LCD. GBA SP 101. Well, there you go. That's Game Boy Advance, and it looks fantastic. So far, so good. It plays them all beautifully. Now I have a ton of games. I bet you're asking, why did I choose those three? Because those are the ones I just happened to grab. I do have some very high-end games, but they're all sealed or protected in boxes and protectors. So those are the easiest ones that weren't in boxes or anything. Oh, okay. There we go. Yep, look at that. Let's see what it recognizes it as. Game Boy. That audio. That audio is really loud. It's a great speaker. Pokemon Green version. So with that being said, I think this is an awesome handheld. I'm so happy to get one of these. These, I guess MSRP is $250, and then there's all kinds of, you know, you got your shipping and you got your taxes and your stuff like that. But this is definitely worth it. I am traveling soon, so I will be taking this with me. Yeah, I could take my Switch, but look how comfortable, look how small and compact this sucker is. It's like the size of the OG Game Boy with a much larger screen, but thinner. I think this thing is beautiful. This thing is a fantastic handheld, and I am so glad to get one. And I didn't know about the silver. I was like, oh, red, blue, something like that, but silver. Good choice, Rob. Thank you so much. I think that looks fantastic. Now, they do offer extra adapters, so you can play other handhelds. I think, I know it's the Game Gear, and I want to say the other one is the Atari Lynx. Don't quote me on that. I didn't look it up. I just know there is a Game Gear adapter. So, I'm a big Game Gear guy. I love Game Gear games. I still have my OG Game Gear. I've done videos on the channel under Logan's Loot and stuff like that about the Game Gear. So I will pick up that adapter. And now the adapter will plug into the Game Boy slot, and then the conversion, and then the Game Gear game goes on top. So if I'm not mistaken, the Game Gear game will stick out a little bit, but that's no problem. I have a ton of Game Gear games that I would love to play on this without having to use the original hardware that just eats up the AA batteries. Now, they do offer cases and other accessories. I'm probably going to use a sleeve that I have for my OG, one of my Game Boy Advances, or is it my, I think it's my one of my DS's that should fit this. So we're gonna test it out. But yes, I'm going to leave that. There's a bit of a screen protector on there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's right there. I can take it off, but I'm gonna leave that on there because I don't want this to get damaged until I get some kind of a case or something for it. You can actually feel how the screen comes up. I think that is gorgeous. So again, thank you, Rob, for grabbing this for me. I really appreciate it. Love this device. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. Tell me if you've got one of these down in the comment section below. Do you plan on picking one up now that you've seen this video? Just let me know. I really want to hear your thoughts on the Analogue Pocket, or if you've purchased any of the other Analogue systems, like their version of the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis, whatnot. But again, thank you guys so much. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.